Greetings. This is the Bloody Mary Show. And let me show you the other side of my hometown. Welcome to New Orleans, a city of music, magic, and an underbelly of partying and vice and swamp magic. It's all here, plus good food. But all in all, the things that we're known for, we should be remembered as survivors. For there are disasters at every turn, and crime. You must walk a fine tightrope here in order to survive. But our spirits seem to, for we've always been called the most haunted town in America. But we weren't always American now. We are a port town on the physical plane and a portal on the spiritual one. New Orleans also had the highest mortality rate for 2 centuries. Lots of death. Balanced, however, with lots of life. It's still that way today. Follow me through my hometown, where my bloodline has been for 300 years. I have been touring you for 30 years, and I've been teaching you how to spiritually connect with the other side for even longer. Let me help connect you to the heart and soul of New Orleans. The spirit of place is waiting. Sacred sites are right here. Oh, there's connection, and there's healing in that connection, especially down deep to the swamp magic, and we visit the ancestors. And I give you ideas and ways to help connect better with your loved ones. I am Voodoo Queen in the tradition of New Orleans Voodoo, which is the style that Voodoo Queen Marie-Laveau did. I follow in her footsteps and teach you along the way. People call from all over the world to apprentice with me. Some make it and some don't. You can follow along on some of Janelle's journey with us right here as she apprentices into my house in Voodoo in New Orleans. Many of you have only a Hollywood view of Voodoo and of New Orleans, and so many movies have been made right here in my hometown. I'm going to try to clear up fantasy from reality, show you what we really do and what the spirits drumming have to say. For the dead, singing your prayers is all part of ritual, but so is quiet contemplation, feeding the ancestors, seance of a variety of forms, and so many ways of communication, including the modern ways. Let's explore the afterlife in its many forms. Do follow me inside my voodoo spirit shop, and we're going to go over to the other side to the seance parlor and start our connections. Hello, it's the Bloody Mary Show, and I'm Bloody Mary, and we have a special guest today. Please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Janelle.
Janelle is a newcomer to living in New Orleans. How long has it been now?
It's been 2 months.
2 months, okay. That was just 4 weeks, so 2 months you're getting your lay of the land and connecting with things. But your story is that you're a reader and an enthusiast on New Orleans and voodoo and this and that. But even though you're not from here, you did have family here, right?
I did.
And your family introduced you to some of the witchy ways?
Yes, yes they did.
So when you come to a new place, and I'm sure you've done it in your own way, but I'll help you in other words, you got to introduce yourself to the spirit of place. You've got to present yourself, which I will also help you do, because this can be a rough town. You know, you have
yes.
you have to really embrace the spirit aspect of it. So I am going to open the gates to Papa Legba. Open the way. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Mirasa, the mysteries and the mort. We open the way. Yolali, Mamsel Marie, Marie-Laveau. I am a priestess in the tradition of Marie-Laveau, Voodoo Queen in New Orleans Voodoo. I am Mambo Asagwe in Haitian Voodoo. Yaya Nakisi Malongo in Congo, and a variety of other titles, including Mama Isi and Night Priestess, a few others. Born and raised New Orleans Catholic, all that thing. Are you Catholic?
I am.
Were you Catholic?
I was.
Were you the Catholic one? Officially, you had to be Catholic to be in the colony. There were many Native American Indian traditions which were blended in, and many voodoo traditions later. I'm going to open the gates a little further because I want to ask for your auntie's input on this, and I don't know if we'll do a full seance or just that way. So what I say and what I do is I light the way. I, Bloody Mary, I, Lacocro, I, Marie Laveau, I, Regina Asset. Names have been known in the past, and names have been known in the now. Call the spirit guides, friends and family around me and at my side to open the way so that we can communicate with the friends, spirits of, state your whole full name.
Janelle Ann Pongraci.
So that we may talk to all of your ancestors on your mother's side of the family and all your ancestors on your father's side of the family and all the ancestors not yet born that is still to come ahead. So they could hear, so they could be here. I call upon my spirit guides, Marie Catherine Laveau, I call Salvis, and so many more. I call upon them to be here to help so that we could see, so that we can connect with your specific. If you have a specific people that you would like to call, would you state their full names, please?
Yes.
Actually, would you state them one at a time? First, pick one.
Yes. The first one would be Catherine Philippe.
Catherine Philippe. Say it three. Visualize her. Visualize her. When you get a good fix on her eyes, we're then going to call her name 3 times. But I'm going to ask for the spirit guide of the day, the one who is going to open the way, to come forward, to let the spirits that we know today in through the door, who is the valet, open the way. I think they're happy to see you. They made a very decorative entranceway filled with twigs and branches as like a frame to, and there was a woman with very long hair who may be your auntie, but there was someone else who was beckoning you. So it's good that the person that we've got has some form of beautiful edging. Instead of just a doorway, they made an entry. Okay,
Yeah.
so
She's here.
state her full name now.
Catherine.
3 times. Call her like you call her to come over here, you know.
Okay. Auntie Catherine Felipe. Auntie Catherine Felipe. Auntie Catherine Felipe.
First we got the twigs when I was saying that made like this beautiful oval frame of a portal. She wasn't just satisfied with having an opening to walk through. She had to frame it. However, she also seemed to have you ever seen sculptures made out of a knot of wood? I've got one at home. It's like it looks like a green man kind of thing, but it's a sculpture, like a thick piece of wood. She kind of became that. So I can see that, like, you know very well what the tignon and a turban looks like. But in her case, her turban was made out of the spiraled wood, like she was part of the tree and very grounded in where we are here. It's a very interesting entrance. Before you said her name, there was this long flowing hair too. So I don't know which one that is. You said aunties and you were thinking about both, but Philippe is the last name.
Yes.
Born and raised. Were they born and raised here, or they just lived here?
They were born and raised here.
Born and raised in New Orleans. And what do you know around what year they died? Around like what era? 80s?
They passed
90s.
A couple of years before Katrina, so 98, 99?
Okay.
Yeah, around that time.
The end of that century.
Yes.
Beginning of
Yes, before the 2000.
Okay. All right. And you made commentary when I was asking about them before. You kept saying like down on such and such street, like you knew the street that they were on a lot.
They lived on Ursulines.
Okay.
And
Ursuline.
Ursulines. And they lived in the Treme area.
Okay, so they lived across the street on this
bridge.
way. Okay. Well, across the bridge.
Or Viaduct,
Okay. Well, that way. You know, we know that way.
Yes.
So Ursuline in the Treme.
Under the freeway.
Gotcha. Under the bridge. It's literally, that's called the DA.
Yeah,
under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't saying it was a bridge. You know, like it, because it's not a bridge.
Right.
It's a over expressway, but it's called under the bridge.
Yeah.
So they lived in the Treme, which was a very musical area, and in that point of history, it was becoming a slightly mixed neighborhood again, I guess, because it started out that way, and then it became more black, and then it became mixed. My mama was born in the Treme.
Okay.
Under the bridge. Because when I went sprinkled her ashes, I made sure I went under the bridge,
Yes.
because that's where she was born, right? Now, my grandma and great-grandma were born across, right back there, the back of the courtyard across from the Laveau cottage. So what did you call, you called her Auntie what?
I called one Auntie C, and then I called Auntie, her name was Genevieve. Mm-hmm. We would call her Vive.
Cool. Well, right now we called on C, right?
Yes.
Auntie C, Philippe, come this way. Now I'm seeing a diamond shaped. It almost looked like something that would be in the center of her dress, that kind of mating is usually a dramatic night evening gown. Did they dress up a lot? Were they very girly girls?
They were so fabulous. Super long hair. But they only time they wore their hair down was at night. And when I tell you it used to drag and drop on the floor.
Okay, so I saw that first off. It did look ridiculously long.
It was both of them ridiculously.
But she was like sweeping with it. Like when she opened the gate, it was like opening the way. So you don't have any, do you?
No, I wish.
Always get your hair of your loved ones before they pass, even just a little bit to keep it together. Yeah, that's words of wisdom.
Yes.
Do you have something that belonged to them?
I actually...
Piece of jewelry, a letter, something they gave you as a gift, maybe? Clothing?
I think I have cemetery dirt.
So you have been in their grave.
It's not... I have like some of stuff they gave me, so that I have herbs from them still. I have some cemetery dirt. I have no idea whose cemetery it's from. Mm-hmm. So I just have like little talismans.
Okay.
Some candles.
Well, that's good. If they gave you something and you still have it.
Yeah.
Because to have that around would need to be in a box under your altar, in a drawer or something to empower it.
Okay.
And if you're going to make an ancestral altar if you don't have their picture, you could probably get their picture. But I see a lot of, and the word is revelry. Revelry for them, even though that's a New Orleans used word quite a lot when it's not just they're fancy. It's just like they're very much, partiers. They probably would have marched behind a parade, and they love the stuff in this town, and they're still, I think they're rejoicing. I think what I'm seeing is they're rejoicing that you're here.
I know, like...
Because then they can live vicariously through you. You don't think that you're as good with spirits yet in your psychic development, but I think they're going to be pushing you along.
Yeah.
But they're almost whimsical, like TV, like not dancing around you, but flitting, like they're going to be prepping you and doing it, but they're doing it from such a beautiful way. They're all about beauty.
They are. They've just everything they've
good
done.
Tears. Leave the tears. Don't waste your tears. Put them on your crystal bag.
I know.
It's empowering.
Good. Yes.
Go actually, or take it and go put it up on Marie. That's always good too. Tears are the best body fluids. I always take them from the brides and grooms when I marry, when they're crying in the process, and put it into their doll so the tears of joy can stay with them forever. And they're wonderful offerings. If it's harder to get people's tears than it is a lock of their hair. So remember to get their hair and nails if you can. But and in lieu of that, many people get some of the graveyard dirt. So you don't know whose dirt it was, but it must have been someone significant if they were working with it. Someone significant to them.
Yes.
For them to work with.
Yes.
So now we have to go find out where they're buried.
Yes.
And we might be able to find an obit if it's not that old.
Right.
2000, 1995. That should be easy.
Yeah.
We will find them and follow. And
yes,
go visit
ladies.
them at their grave. Cool. So please state the other one's name, full name, in a row 3 times.
Okay. Genevieve Pangraci. Genevieve Pangraci. Genevieve Pangraci.
I would say that this was a little more, I don't know if stern is the right word, down to earth, stern, more, She's just definitely not darker, but a little bit. And I don't mean evil. I just mean, she wasn't going to take any shit.
No nonsense.
The other one might have been a wee bit more whimsical. This one was a little more down to earth, a little more. And I use the dark word not as in a bad thing, like not like evil, but, darker. She's more balanced with that. Not even gruff, but kind of pleasant and loving you, both of them. But I see her a different way than I saw the other one, Elf Lady. This one, she's got a hat on and her hair is dark and she's very intense. I think it might be the word. Is she more intense than the other one?
She is. Whimsical? She's very intense and dark, but not in a scary way. Just in a sinister kind of way.
Well, maybe the two of them were the perfect balance, because you've got to be able to balance your light with your dark. You can't be all white light and unicorns, but that seems to be the way people think.
Their
you're
nickname
that
was
or you're this.
Yin and Yang.
Yeah, I mean they have to. New Orleans has a dark side.
Yes,
New Orleans has a dark side as well as a whimsical party side. You have to walk a tightrope here, and that's good that you'll have a dual helpers on either side of you as you navigate the waters of New Orleans. So they would have, and her family. Do you know how long that family's been here?
The family.
Like, did you think that they were generations of people that were here, or did they move here?
Oh, from my family. From
her.
Yes. I believe everything that I can remember them telling me, it seems like everything led all history from here and possibly, overseas somewhere.
Like coming into this country through New Orleans.
Yes.
People don't realize how huge of a port town New Orleans is. And people did come through here, live, die here, stay here. Not just French. It was just run by France. But everybody did speak French. But all that would have come, especially if you're Catholic. That's why I asked her if she was Catholic. So many Catholics. Now, what was the first thing that you were told by them or by whoever about Marie Laveau?
The funny part is, and I know you guys are going to laugh, because now that I have a little more knowledge and now that I'm
I want to know what you heard. What stories were.
It wasn't what I even heard. Actually, growing up, I thought she was our relative. Okay. I thought Marie Laveau was our relative. I just knew her as Mademoiselle, and I'm talking about 5 years old, 6 years old. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just this grand relative. Okay. Because the way they had the altar set up and the rituals they would do, and it was just Mademoiselle, and I'm thinking, she's my other auntie. Right. Especially as a little girl, right.
As
yes, interpreting as a little girl, I'm thinking it's their sister. So the altar was set up. It was just a shrine, and the offerings and the food that they cooked, and Auntie
we
C.
feed our dead.
Yes, Auntie C was just so whimsical, and Zsa spraying perfume everywhere and lighting candles, and Auntie Vive was the one always cooking. And I mean, you guys, if you haven't been in New Orleans and seen altars with food, it's not a small plate. I'm talking about full cakes, okay?
Cakes, fruits,
full
vegetables, yeah.
Cakes, full pots of gumbo, full whatever it is, it's not a piece, especially when you're honoring Marie Laveau, okay? So the balance and the things they used to do were just so amazing, so uplifting.
And this was just in their house?
This was just in their house, so as a child, I'm thinking this is our relative.
No, I get that, yeah.
But Mademoiselle. So as years start going on and I start hearing all of these, stories, the voodoo queen, Marie Laveau, and I come back as an older, 12, 13-year-old, and I start asking questions, I'm like,
okay, what's this about? Yeah.
Yeah. That's not your sister? And
cool, interesting way to find out. Did they tell you any stories about her while you thought she was your aunt?
They told me plenty of stories.
There's a lot of, it's just some areas hear this story about Marie Laveau. I mean, if you could separate what you know now from reading, if you, like the first things you hear
The very first thing they told me, they were big into herbs, and they always said, she's an herbalist, she's a healer, beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful healer. If there's anything ever wrong with you, if you're ever hurting, if you're ever having a bad day, you call upon her.
Okay. So you were introduced to her as a healer, and someone who was grand and beautiful with all these presentations around her.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lovely way to meet Marie instead of through a TV show or a silly tour or whatever.
Yes.
I always try to go deep, to talk about her, and she made sure that I kept on going because there's always something more to add. Now, did your aunties say that they were voodoo or were initiated, or what did they say? Or do they not say?
They really never said. Okay. As I got older, I tried to ask in my own way, and they always said that, this is our way. And everything that you've seen and everything that we do, we want you to, carry on. This is a part of your lineage.
Okay.
And I used to ask them, what about the other family? And I used to ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, me too. It always got me in trouble.
And yes, it was, so I definitely feel like, as far as, the family issues and maybe the struggles that they went through, they definitely were not open about sharing it, but they did let me know.
Then, in the 90s, when I guess it was still hard. I was actually one of the few people to do a lot of these bigger TV shows that came out saying that I did voodoo and ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't that known, or people weren't that open with it then. They were in town usually.
Yeah.
Nobody here seemed to hide it as much, but they weren't across the country aware of it as much. So people don't get to know things until it's too late, and then you can't go back and ask the people if they're gone. So we got to try to do it this way and do a seance, and we'll do some automatic writing, and we'll go visit their grave, and we'll definitely we have to get their pictures.
Yes.
So you have to make an ancestral altar.
Yes.
Which is different from your Marie altar.
Yes.
Because you're not supposed to mix the living and the dead. Well, I guess they're dead. They're all dead.
But I figured once I did get some more history and we go graveyard searching, and
we definitely got to find their grave for sure.
Yes, I have a spot that's separate from Marie and anything else that I would love to do, an ancestor altar, because
everyone should do one.
Yes.
Even if it's just a little box that you keep under your bed because you don't have the space or the people that would understand around you. Pictures of the people that you love. If you don't have the pictures of your ancestors, even if you're adopted, your adopted family and your birth family, or both your family, you could just try to get a memento from the country that you think they're from, or anything. If you don't know much about, that, you can find a logo, a flag. You could do what you can, but if you have pictures, that's good. But we don't mix the living and the dead.
Right.
So in that altar, you could have a living and dead anywhere else in the house, just not there. And you got to feed them. And usually all the elements are there. So you got fire, and you've got the water. You're blowing to that. Water is the elixir of life, and it helps the spirits travel through. But your aunties didn't need any help. They were right there the second I opened it. So I neglected and left the fire. The fire is so they can find the way. The water they can swim through. We have different incense, the smoke signals to help them come near. The earth, I have this is weird, travel. It's an incense match.
Oh, that is so cool.
So I can light and have both elements very quickly for something to go to carry with you. And, I have a little bit of the smoke.
Better than my big old sage or Palo Santos.
Well, so it gives you a little bit of scent of the smell and the smoke, like smoke signals to help bring them near the earth so that we're grounded into the moment. But I wanted to introduce them here since she's going to be starting to work here.
With the aunties present.
With the aunties there. Aunties can come help here, It's, there's some movie I keep seeing, and somebody was dressed very witchy in it. Oh, and she's reminding me of her. We'll talk about it later. So we'll cut this out here. So do you have any requests that you can say in the first person to your aunties right now of like what you want them to help you with or inviting them in. And are you going to be there, lovely aunties?
Yes. Auntie C, are you going to help me get in touch and more in tune with my visions?
Is she the more clairvoyant one?
Yes.
C for clairvoyant. Well, the answer for when I threw this is yes. These are chamalangas, pieces of coconut, and how they land. I got 3 up. That's definitely a yes. So,
okay.
Would you please connect with her in dreams, with writing, with any way that you've seen, and tell me if there's a way that I should help to train her that you see is a good thing. And we're saying that you are friends, family, ancestors, and spirit guides. We open the way, and she will make a spot for you in the house. Ashe.
Ashe.
Were they very old when they died?
Yes.
They were?
Yes.
They were like 80s? Like,
yes.
Okay. So that means that they died, so they were around like from the 1920s, and their heyday would have probably been the 40s, 50s, you think?
Yes.
Oh, so they were here during the Bohemian beatnik times, and, you know.
Yeah.
And the times of Tennessee Williams and the Romantic era, before New Orleans became as touristy as it is today. Which, you know, didn't really happen till more of the 80s. You know, like it was still pretty localized. Visitors came, of course, but in the 70s and such, it was definitely more localized, even the 80s. And then it was changing right after that. So by the end of their life, the French Quarter had drastically changed, or even the Treme.
Yes, because Auntie Vive always used to call it the old quarter. Oh, we need to go to the old quarter. And I'm like...
That's because we used to call... Because there were quarters. We used to say the quarters.
Yeah.
Because there were 4 of them, not just the French Quarter. Nobody, you know... So I'm going to go down the quarters.
Yeah.
That means like here, Treme, and the Marigny.
Yeah.
And there's another. But, you know, that's basically what they were talking about. The Tremes, back it down. You didn't go much to the American Quarter, but it was the quarters with 70. So yeah, the old quarter. So they go over here. But they were in did they grow up in the Treme, or did they?
They grew, I believe they were always in the Treme area. The house on Ursuline, they were there for at least 40 years.
She wouldn't go knock on their door?
I actually
I did that on my birthday.
Cool. I do have the owner's number now. They do Airbnb. It's 2 men. But they did say like I can call and we could set up and go in.
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
So it's completely different.
You get a little earth from there too. It's not just the goofer dirt from the graveyard. It's where you lived.
Yeah.
You know, you should have actually brought some from Detroit with you from your house too, so that spirit of place comes. Make your daughter go get it.
I will.
So get your house dirt that you were born in, native soil.
Okay.
Very important. I know that's probably not the house you were born in.
No.
But it's the house that you lived in for a time you asked to be released, but you still want to embrace the spirits that you know, that watched you while you were there. And the earth, to be grounded in all the earths around you, is very, very important.
Yeah.
So cool. These are my individual lower cards that I'm just gonna have you do in a 3 piles. Make 3 piles. All right. So the center card is Iazon.
Okay.
And I'll explain that. Past is Agua and water energy. And the now is death. No. Barren Samity.
Wow.
Which isn't really death per se, but sort of. So Iazon is the queen of the marketplace. She is the first priestess. She is wife to Loco, who gives you the Asan when you are priestess. So she is the first Mambo and the marketplace. We're across the street from the main marketplace of Congo Square. So, I mean, that's a very good card for the now. And of course, no, but I mean, Barren Samity is more than that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's the wisdom of the ancestors who've come before, and we've done nothing but ask for the wisdom.
Yeah.
Ask to talk to the spirits right now. So he's more than just the death or the Grim Reaper aspect, but the wisdom that's in the bones, that's in those that came before us is very important. So that's Baron Samedi in the Gede family. So he's very popular here. He's the one with the top hat and the tailcoat. Not Legba. He's not the top hat tailcoat. This is Baron Samedi, his wife, Mama Bridget. And Agua. He's like the Poseidon in voodoo, but he's more. He is that whole nation in the Rada. His wife is La Serene, the mermaid. His other counterpart in there would be La Baleen, the whale, which some say are the same. They're all in the same family, and there's Gasu, the lieutenant. So there's much. Everyone loves Agua, and you blow a conch 3 times to call him in at the beginning of rituals, and you put barges of food out, the bark Agua out of food on the waters for him. So you might not have done that, but we should go feed the waters that are here, because though no one really realizes anymore, New Orleans was and still is an island.
Yes.
So we'll put some offerings of fruit and such out there. Ayazan, we go to the tree at the sacred place, and then of course we'll always give something to the dead.
Yes.
So that's just, that's a pretty good basic and very true reading of what we're doing here. You're searching for your roots, and you're hoping your roots will help you grow in the now. And that's what we should do with our ancestors. We continue to live on and carry in their footsteps and make things better, you know, or broader, or how to have to listen to the wisdom of those that came before to plant it in those that are still come ahead. So this is your job. That's your journey right now, and you're just starting it. So it should be exciting. And I think that New Orleans greatly respects that kind of reason for people coming here. There's a lot of reasons she doesn't like so much, but that's a good one. So welcome to New Orleans, to the spirits that are here, the spirits that can hear. We welcome in, state your full name once again.
Janelle and Pangrachi.
And please help and guide her along the way. And we're going to go on a journey with Marie Laveau and with the spirits of New Orleans and see where some of your bloodline came from. And
yes, can't wait.
Yay. And she might do readings here, and she does readings online. And we could definitely work at the shop. And follow along with us on some of the journey to apprenticeship, as she is ready to initiate and go all the way to the St. John's Eve ritual first level. Walk you by, go to Marie Laveau's house, show you where it was, and go visit in there as well.
All right.
And we'll take you with us, maybe. And then in the future, we'll take you to find her auntie's grave, too. But not tonight.
Yes, more to come later, you guys.
Yeah, they made this museum as a sanctuary for the spirits, if they needed a place to go and a place for their stories to be recorded, because I do think that they are important, and we have to listen to the dead. And I am I'm a psychopomp, but that's not what I was going to say. I'm a psychopomp, but I'm on their side, you know. I'm on the spirits side.
Yeah.
So, I take the opposite look at things for people. So I like my broken mirrors over there, and I like, my altars everywhere. And so the spirits can come and go.
Yes.
And that's what this town has been. We're a port town on the physical plane, and we're a portal.
Yes.
On the spiritual one.
Oh, yeah.
So they kept coming. They might have kept dying, but they come back again because, energy never dies, right? Just
only transferred.
We're going to take a walk. We'll see you later. We'll see. So we're heading over to Marie's. I want to give those candles at the altar here. So this was here. Come look at the sign over here. The cottage, the original house, the original cottage of Marie Laveau. Her grandmother built the original house here. And it was torn down around 1903. This new house is built on the old foundation, and the energies of the time when Marie Laveau lived here and her family are still here. I make presentations here and do a variety of spiritual rituals and physical herbal concoctions. And I'm going to present the apprentice here. She will give offerings that she has made, and we will walk through so that she is properly introduced here and then on to other sacred sites in the city and, of course, the cities of the dead.
So let's orient those and gift those to the altar. I know you gifted them to me, but this is for me. It's me and Marie. Go ahead. Up, down, left, right. Drop and catch. Put them down. Let's see, we got a picture of Marie Laveau and a picture of me. So this is where I do a lot of seances and readings. And here,
so we'll do channeling both in the seance room as well as in the bedroom where I'm writing the new book about Marie Laveau. I'm channeling a lot of it direct. This would have been over the back porch and the courtyard where they did many rituals. Here's where I grow herbs. Here's where I make voodoo dolls, gree bags, wandas, and more.
Small but
apprenticeship isn't easy. It's not a sit-down class or things you read in a book. You have to watch. You have to be part of it. You have to keep up. You can't cry over the trials and tests and complain. You've got to be strong and learn to overcome. Rituals to appease the spirits. Rituals to protect your land, your town,
This dagger has assisted me in every hurricane threat since Katrina.
You can catch some snippets of our apprenticeship here and learn voodoo paranormal inside many haunted sites and power sites in New Orleans. Thank you for joining the Bloody Mary Show, and I hope you have subscribed to Bloody Mary New Orleans on YouTube, where I will do live investigations, ghost hunting, psychic services, seance with experts in the field surrounding me in 3 separate locations. Tell your friends. Join us in person when you're in New Orleans at the Haunted Museum. Go to BloodyMaryNewOrleans.com for information on all of our ghost hunting tours and beyond. Remember, when you come to New Orleans, to visit the Haunted Museum in the French Quarter and book your Bloody Mary tour before you get here, because we have small group events, seances, ghost hunts, but tours, including through the cities of the dead. Let me tour you through the heart and souls of my hometown.